We're at our opening of our photo exhibit from our homeless photographers. We call it Homelessness from Our Eyes. I wanted them to document their journey in homelessness. I thought about giving them cameras, capture all the complexities of homelessness, but be it but articulated by the guests themselves.
I had the opportunity to participate in a project here at the Day Center where we were asked to go around and sort of capture what it's like to be homeless through our own eyes, through our own experience. So the pictures that you see here were built upon, I did a lot of walking. For instance, there's a picture of my feet on the bricks. And there's a lot of brick in Boston, so that was kind of a familiar thing. But also, that particular piece is a circular brick. And sometimes it really felt like I was walking in circles, whether it was because I didn't know where to go or what to do, or I couldn't find the right spot.
Well, my photographs were very personal to myself and to a lot of friends of mine. They really express the emotion that you go through which comes with homelessness. And a lot of these I've been through myself. With homelessness comes loneliness, and like the loneliness, and not only the suffering of like being sleep deprived and whatnot, it's just very exhausting.
Picture with the envelopes, this is people's mail because they're homeless, they have no address, so we get our mail here. You can't get a bank account, you can't do anything without an address. If you don't have proof of address, you can't even get a library card. You know, so here at least we have an address that we can give to a bank or, you know, whatever we need to give an address for. And this is somebody's belongings. They got thrown out and they had nowhere else to put them. So the office, Marilyn put it in her office.
I was talking to a couple of our photographers, and we were just shooting the breeze about, you know, why we're there at the Day Center and, you know, something about their background. And then I found out that some of them slept in the cemetery, and I was quite appalled. The more they did it, the more confidence they began to have. And as the project grew and gotten larger, I noticed that they became a lot more confident and that they wanted to play a more leadership role in the whole issue of articulating about homelessness.
Falling through the cracks is pretty easy to do. And then the other thing was sort of a superstitious, you know, you step on the crack, you break your mother's back. And I noticed I was always stepping over cracks. There's two photos here. One is a knot tied around a tree. It's a knot in a rope. And the other one is some tangled vines. So, and what that made me think of, it's an area that I, again, would walk every day, but what that made me think of was, it's easy to get tangled up in the bureaucracy of things. Sometimes it's just the way it is, the natural tangles. And sometimes I noticed that actually probably I was tangling things up. You know, I'd either be tied up in knots from an emotional standpoint or was getting in my own way, throwing obstacles up because I was afraid or really too proud to ask for help or say, you know what, I'm struggling, because I thought I was different from everyone else.
Our photographer, Ron McCann, took these pictures right behind me, and let me just interpret why he wanted these pictures shown. He wanted to show where the hardcore homeless people lived, and this is underneath a bridge by the trains, and underneath the bridge is almost like a shelf so that people could sleep there, and at any time there could be 4 or 5 people, and you could see that there are remnants of things that people left behind, like blankets, pillow, water jug, medicine bottle, clothing here. I particularly like this picture just because I saw the words, I love you, and then I hate. And we also had other guests who told us that they had stayed here for over 5 years. And I had asked them specifics about how did they stay alive. And he said his toes are frostbitten.
So I tried to think of places where people can go to feel welcome that are homeless. And the library is one of those places because you can sit in there for a couple of hours before somebody comes over and inquires about what you're doing there. McDonald's is another one of my favorite places to go. This entranceway is glassed in, and you can see the city while you're sitting inside, and there's lovely potted plants and rattan chairs, and it's a very welcoming place.
With the homelessness comes having to eat. So this is Salvation Army, where you can get breakfast and lunch here. And this is the soup kitchen, which you can get dinner here, and it opens at, I believe, 4:30, 5 o'clock. To just say hello to a homeless person in the morning, you don't have to give them money or something like that, could brighten up their day.
Once I realized that, we're really all in the same spot, everyone's been through something, and none of us can do it alone.
I think that the whole issue of homelessness is very complex, and that I think you could tell by the different photographers that they all came from different walks of life, and something happened on their journey that caused them to be homeless, and yet we could all be in that position. Sometimes when I was representing battered women, we would always say that women are always like one paycheck away from being homeless. And so, they're people, they have intelligence, they have hopes and dreams. And so, what I hope from this photo exhibit is that, it sparks some conversation, and that with the conversations, people are going to come together and talk about solutions and to bring resources back to the community.
When Marilyn asked me to take them, I was very honored. I'm not homeless, but I've been close to being homeless, and I was homeless a long time ago.
I feel safe here. Yeah, it's great.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to take all these photos, and I really enjoy doing it, and it really means a lot to me to give back to the places that have helped me out in the rough times that I've had. And thank you everyone for listening.
But yeah, it's really just one foot in front of the other, and you never know what your feet are going to hit, but as long as you keep putting one foot in front of the other, you're going to get somewhere.